Mike would only write it if he had something different to say.
At the end of the week, you will be an entirely different person.
What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Amen. Amen.
What's up, IGN Fan Fest? Michael here with the cast of The White Lotus Season 3, who's here to break down all the drama, all the action, and all the biggest moments so far from what promises to be the darkest and most exciting season of The White Lotus yet. Do you all have either a favorite character from season 1 or 2, or one that you feel like your character from season 3 most closely identifies with?
I've always liked Murray Bartlett.
Yeah.
And there might be elements of Jacqueline and Murray, right? Just trying to kind of keep it together. And then, that self-sabotage just sort of kicks in and gets the best of them.
I think that, there is something at Chelsea Gone Wrong could be Tanya. There is that over trust,
the naivete almost.
But I feel like she's got more robustness. Mm-hmm. So I feel like she wouldn't go down that route, hopefully. But yeah, hope so. But also she's my favorite too. So
yeah, there you go.
The exciting thing about these ensemble shows that reset like this is that, Mike would only write it if he had something different to say.
Yeah.
So I agree. There's not really a person. There's some alcoholism around in these resort stories inevitably. And I think Lori's embodying that a little bit.
I've been around a long time, just like a lot of people in this cast have been around a long time. But if I'm being honest about one person in particular, what Steve Zahn did in season 1, it's not so similar to anything that's happened in my life, but the relationship that he has with his son, this wonderful actor, and the conversation in particular of that they have in the pool, it blew me away because I thought, based on my own childhood, that would be the experience I would have with my child.
I could see her kind of being like Albie, because he's trying to do better than what his dad and his. What I mean?
That's a very good point. I hadn't thought about that.
I kind of feel like they're kind of similar in that way.
Yeah, I would definitely say Adam DeMarco and Fred Heschinger. I think it's it's a pretty clear through line of the awkward son of the family. It's really kind of fun to get to try and build on the legacy of the people that came before you, but also forge your own path and all that. It's a fun little equation you got to do in your head.
Saxon is his own very unique person. How did you dive into that character? Did you look to previous seasons to take inspiration, or was it just kind of a whole unique experience for you?
I think that Saxon totally stands on his own, and he's different. He's unique, for better or for worse. And I hope that people, I think it was really important for Mike to make him this lovable douchebag. There's elements of him that were just awful and terrible, but yet you kind of enjoyed watching him.
It was more important for me to do the work on relationship with Michelle and Carrie and to have that foundation and to work on Kate and what her journey was versus to sort of tether, because they're all different stories. So it didn't feel like it would behoove me artistically to do that. So I did not do that. But I'm a huge fan of the show. I did make a point not to talk to anybody about the experience because I really wanted it to feel all new for me.
So Mike has said that this season 3 is probably the darkest season of White Lotus yet. I agree as a fan and as a viewer. I think Tim is central to all of that.
It's funny that Mike said darker because I'd say deeper. And, Mike's exploring these themes through Buddhism, meditation, but also through the prism of these rich people who don't do it right or don't take it seriously or think they can buy it. But Tim, ironically, maybe being the richest and shallowest of all of them, begins to understand it and take it seriously because he needs it most.
I want to talk about Victoria because we haven't seen a character like her in The White Lotus yet. Is she aware of all of that darkness?
One of the things about her, I think she's entering the story in a state of grief. So I think she is not living authentically. I think she's kind of swallowed by her husband and the rules of what family is, and that her view of things is very distorted. The family's very narcissistic. They have no limit. They're kind of colonizing Thailand.
Amy, you have quite a moment with the robbery scene. This might be the first like hardcore action scene that we've seen, and you're at the center of it. What was it like shooting that?
It was so fun to film that because it's through the filter of Chelsea. I think it's just Mike's so clever. Like,
even romanticized that.
She even romanticizes that. You know, she's like, I almost died. Hold me, protect me. So she's like, she's scared, but she's also like, ooh,
yeah,
ooh, he might look after me tonight. So it was so fun to film through her to experience through her eyes.
Carrie, there's a moment in I think it's the first episode where your character sees Jacqueline and Kate talking about her, and she just goes into her room and screams. And that was such an amazing primal moment. Tell me about that.
That's exactly the way it's written in the script. Mike actually writes that it's this weird, sudden cry that subsides very quickly. So those moments, which sometimes might appear to be spontaneous actor moments, are actually like just thoroughly good writing. And it's wonderful to have Mike there to be like, yes, that was the thing that I wrote, you know, to do it, to execute it to his satisfaction as an actor, because you want to make him happy just because he's so talented and because he's leading with such love and generosity.
Thanks to the cast of The White Lotus Season 3. Be sure to stick around for more IGN Fan Fest.